Hello, fellow stranger. Are you a traveler like me? One who dares to explore and discover anything or everything the world has to offer? Perhaps I can help you by telling you my story. At least, the story of my people, the Bosmer. They have a long history here in Tamriel, and I wish to tell you about it. If you want to listen, that is. Please, relax and enjoy, and walk with me through my homeland, Valenwood. Before I start, I must bring attention to the elephant in the room. Just by looking at me, you probably wouldn't have guessed that I was a Bosmer, especially with my vampiric blood. I began my adventuring days a long time ago, and has brought me to many different lands, and I've met many different types of people. I don't want you to be shocked by my appearance, or to be afraid. The person I am now is a result of countless challenges and tough decisions, but please don't let that persuade you from enjoying this story. Now, let's begin. Velenwood is a province in Tamriel and consists of 4 regions: Grahtwood, Greenshade, Malabal and Reaper's March. I was born in Grahtwood, where the capital of the Aldemir Dominion lies, which is called Ildenroot. It is the biggest Grat oak in the world. During the First Era, King Elblir founded the Gamorrean dynasty, which is considered among the greatest military feat in Tamriel's history. This also sparked the biggest change in the Bosmer, for instead of changing the environment to suit their needs, they began to change to suit the environment. This led the Bosmer to form the Green Pact with Yrfa, the forest god, where they swear to never kill, injure, or eat any of the vegetation of this new home.
Ifri the Singer is the most important god we worship. We know many people, especially other elves, place Auriel higher, but Auriel's province is that of time, in itself uninterruptible and majestic. But Ifri is the now, the living moment.
The Gamorrean dynasty is split into 3 things: Falanesti, Sylvanar, Haven, Archen, Eldenroot, Woodhearth, Carthgar, Greenhill, Deep Woods, Tangle Haven, Bramble Breach, and Willow Grove. In 1E340, a trade pact was formed with the human slave rebels called the Alessian Order, but of course that quickly fell apart after the death of King Borgus of Skyrim during the Wild Hunts. He was planning on declaring war on the Bosmer anyway, so I don't feel bad about it. After some time in 1E2714, the Gamorrean dynasty was turned into the Rayman Empire due to the countless attacks from Cyrodiil and Clovia, and not to mention there was a devastating Thracian plague. It was under this new empire that the cities of Falanesti, Sylvanar, Haven, Archen, Eldenroot, and Woodhearth were built as trading posts. This was supposed to help the empire control the citizens, since the Bosmer did not like building or plowing down roads. I mean, leave nature be, am I right? Well, that second empire fell into E430, and although the Gamorreans tried to come together, culturally they were too different. That was when they started to fight amongst themselves, and with the Clovians and the Khajiit. This gave the Mormor of Pandonia the prime opportunity to migrate to Valenwood. They are known as Sea Elves, and were not known to be nice. Finally, in the 5th century, the Gamorrean dynasty came back together, except for the Black Sap Rebellion, who was against the Aldemir Dominion. Although there are many human settlements, we Bosmer never sought to use them or claim them. We just left that to the beast folk, such as the centaurs, orcs, and Immaga. Whatever the Bosmer may need, we get them entirely from the Aldemir Dominion. Which brings us to the present day, 2nd Era, 583. However, I know more about Valenwood history. That is yet to come. How would I know, you may ask? That is a little secret that I will keep to myself, but I will share one thing. I may not know everything, but I have seen glimpses into the future. I will tell you, but you must promise me something in return. Don't tell the other Bosmers. It may prove too much to handle for a lot of them. Trust me, it will be for the best. Now for some shocking news, if you're the type that cares, 'cause I'm not. The Aldemir Dominion was wiped out by Tiber Septim, and he conquered Velenwood. Luckily, however, the Bosmer were left with some independence and were allowed to be ruled by local chiefs and Camorian kings. In 3E 249, Haemon Camorian, the Hot King, will begin his attacks on Valenwood, and will soon conquer it in 3E 251, but he will be defeated in the Battle of Firewaves by Baron Orthrok of Dowanin in 3E 267, a short reign if you ask me. Let's see, there will be the 5-year war in 3E 395 against Elsia, the War of the Blue Divide against the Altmere of Somerset Isles. Didn't see much what happened during those times. The last bit I know is in the 4th era, where the Thalmor are trying to rebuild the Aldemir Dominion. They managed to do a coup against the imperial rule with some help with the Bosmer, but not all Bosmer wanted the Thalmor rule. Despite many rebellions, the 3rd Aldemir Dominion was formed. Its power and influence stretched throughout many regions in Tamriel until it clashed with the 3rd Empire, and thus began the Great War. This will last for 70 years until diplomatic communications were opened. It gets a bit dark after that, which I won't get into. But let's just say that the Almor tried to cleanse Valenwood. Next, there is the religion in Valenwood. As mentioned earlier, the Bosmer worship Ifya, but there are other deities who make their home here. Ariel, Orke, Zin, Zarzez, Bandar, Mara, Stendar, Lokan, Hermamora, Jon, Jod, Wildeking, and Los. Although there are many heroes in Valenwood, the most legendary is Orin Bearclaw. He was the son of King Form Todai. Legends claim he single-handedly defeated the Glenha Vanvar, the witch serpent of Elderwood. Sadly, his life did not end in some glorious battle, but instead by the Nuthattan flu. And that brings the history and future of Valenwood to a conclusion. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you for listening to my people's history and letting me show you what Valenwood has to offer. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I promise, I don't bite. Well, I do, but I already fed recently, so there's nothing to worry about. Although a snack would be nice.